It's a gift from my neighbor. Stopped by yesterday. I got one butternut squash plant and 2 acorn squash. What up, YouTube? So week 9 garden tour. Some things have changed. Nothing drastic from last week, but yeah, let's take a quick walk around. So in the greenhouse, you can see all those tomatoes out of control. They're starting to fruit. They've had flowers. Again, I ripped out the peas, the broccoli, all the lettuce now at this point, so I was getting bitter. 4 pepper plants there. There's 2 super tiny ones, and then those 2, so they're doing good. Still have all those cherry tomatoes, excuse me, and some mountain glories. My neighbor come down, I showed you that clip. He gave me 3 squash plants, so I ended up giving him the one leftover baby doll watermelon. That's a yellow meat watermelon, so that was cool. This tray, I think there's a couple of oregano plants there. But so yeah, not a drastic change in here. Tomatoes are thriving. They're more than halfway up. And they'll probably keep growing a little bit, but yeah, they're starting to fruit. Again, ripped all this stuff up, prepping that to plant more stuff. Here's all the remnants. That's going to get thrown into the garden and tilled in for some added nitrogen and whatever to the soil. Some organic matter, if you will. So off to the corn plot. Things are looking good in here. So I cultivated / weeded yesterday when 4th of July, and I did work half a day, well 6 hours anyways. But came home, did some weeding around the onions, cultivated around every plant, certainly the bush beans and the corn, a little bit around each watermelon plant, cherry tomatoes on the trellises and that type of thing. So it looks good in here, so let's have a quick peek at that. So the weeds, after we had a good 3, almost 4 days of rain a few days ago, and there's a few weeds coming up, but not as bad as I thought it would have been. But so you can see where I cultivated and weeded all behind these bush beans, and there's a few more in there that I direct sowed. All the watermelon, so there's the one there. That's one of those baby dolls, and then 5 more of those here. Sprawling pretty good, so they look great. The moon and star variety, another 5 there. Corn, some of it is just about waist high or hiney high, as some would say. But yeah, again, cultivated all that. Today is my typical routine for Sunday. Obviously the garden tour video, and then anything that needs fertilizing, I'll go ahead and do that. But yeah, weed free. Some of that corn looking really nice. Again, almost hiney high, like up to my butt. It's not tasseling yet, which is good. So yeah, I'll hit that with some more juice today. Bush beans, again, they've had it rough, but they look great now. There's a couple beans right there. Pretty cool. Took y'all long enough to get with the program. But yeah, pretty cool. Again, watermelon look great. That's that moon and star again. Pretty so cool. That color scheme on them. And again, the actual fruit will have that same look. which is where it gets its name from. So we got the onions over here. So weeded all those, cultivated around them. Might have got a little aggressive with the rake and wiped out a couple, but hey, whatever. So let's go check the main plot. My dude patiently waiting, chewing on a stick, and there's like 2 more sticks there and another one. He's obnoxious with the sticks, loves his sticks, and it's frustrating for me when I go to mow the lawn. So I have to stop the lawnmower, jump off, pick up all these sticks, but he absolutely loves them. What you doing, bud? You coming? Oh, here he goes, 100 miles an hour. Oh, Nanook of the North. Love him. He's a good dog. So yeah, let's check out this main plot. So I've pulled some stuff down here as well. Mainly the lettuces. I got 2 out of the 5 that were left. 1 I kept for me, and then I put another big bag together for my elderly neighbor. So I dropped that off yesterday. I picked some more kale, some collards, some peas. Peas are still producing down here. And this is where it gets kind of tricky because I'm in New Hampshire, zone 5A, and the growing season's so short. So you can call this whatever you want, my main plot or spring garden or whatever. And I'm still waiting on a ton of stuff to produce. So peppers, multiple squashes, a ton of tomatoes. I got pole beans on the trellis there. So I'm still waiting on all that. I got some okra plants. Potatoes, I still haven't dug them out, but that's coming here probably in the next couple days. And just see where we're at with that. But while I'm waiting for all this to produce, I already have to start thinking about fall crop, because our first frost date is at the end of September. So it's plus or minus 90 days, depending on the type of plant you're going to plant, days to maturity, that type of thing. I already have to start wrapping my head around that. So today I'm actually going to start seeds in a tray for fall crops. I'm going to let these go a little bit more. The peas, and even though the kale, I've harvested off the kale I think 4 times at this point. Collards the same. They're going to continue to produce because I'm just harvesting off them, but I have to make that decision to pull some things out to get my fall crop in here. And I'll plant some of the same. I'll do kale again, and all your brassicas essentially. So yeah, it's kind of tricky to make all that work. I mean, I could till up another spot, which I thought about doing, and just have 2 spots, so one for the spring garden, one for the fall garden, because they intermix so much, instead of pulling things out early like I'm about to do here. But yeah, let's take a look at the main plot. So my other dude, I don't know, that cracks me up. Again, given to me by a viewer, but flowers are doing good. Rattlesnake pole beans on the trellis. Yep, we're getting there, both sides now. This one had 1 more rung. So that's the center, and it was kind of coming off over here. So I grabbed it to put it back on that 1 wire that it come up, and accidentally broke the tip off. So that's not going to continue that way, but it should start bushing out because I topped it, which it is. I got multiple other ones. That next one, that's all the way up here. One there. There. On the other side, I got a few all the way up here. Another one right there. And then on the very end, where are you at? Boom. So yeah, rattlesnake pole beans looking pretty good, doing well. Getting some flowers. I don't know what the hell those are, but they're super cool looking. And again, the onions, radish. I can actually see the radish. And they don't take long, about 30 days-ish. I can show you that. See them down there. So pretty cool. And the flower tires, so this zinnia is just starting to open up here at the top a little bit. And again, some other plant I can't even keep up with it anymore, but nasturtiums, marigolds. I think that's a bok choy, I guess. Some more onions. Okra and the pepper plant. More onions. Couple. Oh shoot! Check out that okra. These are supposed to be some super pretty flowers. Look at that thing. I hope the camera's picking that up, because that is pretty cool. That's awesome. And again, taters, they're still all green. They've fallen over. That could be because I didn't pile up the dirt high enough, but they're definitely dying back. They've been, I discussed that last week. There's some yellowing. So yeah, I don't know, a few more days or whatever. And your other flower ties, again, zinnia and nasturtium. That's a lettuce there. That one. Marigold, etc. So they're all doing pretty good. Again, same scenario as far as types of flowers. This one actually has so I think it might be cilantro in there. Whatever. It's marigolds, more blooms. Pretty cool. Another one down in there, you can see. A couple more blooms. They're not quite opening yet. And then zinnias, but. And then again, same down there. So patty pan squash. Oh, there's some little bees up in there. Just flew out. That's cool. Definitely got some cucumber beetles in there too. But they're not, I don't know why they haven't affected these patty pans like they did my winter squash. And they're just absolutely still loaded up in there. But I'm starting to see more flowers. I actually have one bulb, I think it's a butternut over there. A bulb, whatever, it's a fruit starting. But yeah, these patty pans are incredible. Fruit down there, there's actually a couple in there. Again with the flowers. Pretty cool. There's multiple fruits on there. And I think every plant has some fruits. That's the next one there. Let's see one here. So these are weird, it's a summer squash, but they're like disc shaped compared to your usual summer squash. But yeah, they're just, well, and from what I've heard and read and all that, once they start making like that, you have all you can do to keep up with them as far as eating them or putting them up. Peppers look great. Tons of blooms all the way down. So the first 8 or so are bell peppers. I got the one jalapeno, which is right here. A little more purple to it. No blooms on it yet, but looks good still. And then 3 poblanos. They all have blooms on them. Again, the winter squash row, I think you can see the flowers in there. Where's that? There it is. So I think this one's the butternut. There you go, right there. There's a zucchini in there. I think there's one cucumber. Excuse the finger. Down at the end there. And the tomatoes. Some of them taller than the trellis here in this row. About 3/4 of the way up the trellis in this row. And tons of tomatoes now. Same thing on this back one, which is even taller. And they're all of 3/4 or better the way up that one. And your double half row of carrots. Still stunning. Again, I'm not sure what's happening under the ground, but above the ground they look awesome. Turnips on that second half, also a double row, just doing absolutely awesome. Look at those things, they're just everywhere. Looking great. So these will come out too. I'm not going to rush it. I'm going to give them, you know, the time they need to get as big as they can. But they're all in there, just absolutely everywhere. And again, everything I've grown has been from seed, so that's cool. But yeah, once these are done, all the turnips will come out, and then I can plant some fall stuff here. So those are awesome. Let's see. Some of them, these are some type of cherry tomato variety. And some more here. Just tomatoes everywhere. Got some good sized ones right over here. Can't remember these might be Rutgers. A couple good ones. Again, yeah, I forget. Roma tomatoes maybe. A couple more there. Another good cluster there. There's a couple big ones right there on the other side. Go check those out. Plant here. Again, I can't remember the variety, but there's a couple cat-faced. So they're just growing weird. Multiple tomatoes on this plant though. Good one there. Another one beside it. Next plant's got a few there. So yeah, getting loaded up with the tomatoes. There's quite a few in here. I got this big one. A couple decent sized ones. Finagle the camera around there. Yeah. It's a pretty good sized tomato right there. Again, some more going on up here. Another one there. I think those over on the next row, some yellow pear. Well, just tomatoes everywhere, which is good. So again, that whole row of kale is doing great. Picked off it I think 4 times now. Gave some away to some neighbors. And it'll still keep producing. I'm just picking off the bottoms, and they still look awesome. They're still going to grow. All the lettuce was here. There's the remnants. So I just pulled those up. They were bitter. I'll end up tilling that back into the soil. Then we get the collards again. They're still growing too. I've harvested off of them pretty much the same as with the kale. So those will still keep producing. Again, I've only harvested 3-4 times or whatever. And then 3 extra kale plants on the end of that row. But again, I have to make that decision to probably get what I can out of this and rip up these 3 rows. So the kale, where the lettuce collards are, and then the peas, which are also still producing. I picked a bunch of these that also went in the bag for my elderly neighbor, but yeah, there's peas absolutely everywhere. So those did good, but again, probably gonna have to rip these 3 rows out here at some point and get some fall crops in here. Rutabagas, cabbage, etc. Carrots are gonna go for quite a while longer yet, I believe. Turnips damn near ready, but I'm gonna give them the rest of the time they need. So I should have 3.5 rows at least to get some fall crops going. These tomatoes are obviously going to be a while. Squash is going to be a while. But I think I'll be pulling up that squash probably before the tomatoes are all said and done, so I can get a couple more rows over here. Peppers, there'll probably be a little bit yet too. Definitely the hotter ones, the jalapeno and the poblanos. But yeah, still looking good. Everything super healthy, looks great. Again, I don't know if the camera, you can tell on it, but that's super lush and green and just looking awesome. And it was cool to see those bees in here pollinating for me on the squash plants. And so the rest of the flowers that are right by the entrance, the trellis there, all along the front of it, they're doing good. I had to give them some water. Got a little hot here, but pretty, looking good. I need to get another bag of mulch and throw some mulch down, but taters. Hanging pot down the other end. Same setup. Those things are so cool looking. Cool colors. Same as the other hanging pot on the other end. And yeah, drive by. Pretty pleased with that effort this year for something I've never done, honestly, on a scale like that. It's super cool. Trellis. It's pretty cool. That's gonna fill right up. So there you have it, week 9. Not too bad. Everything's doing good. So thank you guys for tuning in, for your time and all that. Appreciate it, as always. And, see what happens on week 10. Till then, God bless. Take care.